Well, this is Mark Cooper then, ahead of Barnet away. Mark, people will hype this game up. How do you approach it?
We approach it in the fact that it's 3 points, which we're going to try and get. It's another game. When you lose a game, you want to try and bounce back. That's the way we'll be looking at it.
There is the opportunity, though, to put a real marker down between yourself and one of the teams right down there below you. How big is that opportunity, though, for you and the players?
Yeah, it's an opportunity, but I'm sure Barnet are looking at it as an opportunity to close the gap. So we have to do our work. We have to give them the utmost respect. Very experienced manager. He's had a lot of success there, and we have to give them the utmost respect. But then we've got to go and do what we do and try and do it really well. And we have to concentrate and make sure key moments in the game, which we didn't do last Saturday, that we do those well and manage the game properly.
Yeah, Martin Allen, you mentioned his experience there. He's a character, that's for sure. But he is someone who just seems to fit really well at Barnet.
Yeah, I really like him. He's got a different way of doing things. And as a young manager, when I started, you're always looking at different things. And like I say, he's got a different way of doing things, but always very effective. So yeah, he'll have something up his sleeve tomorrow for certain. I watched them last Friday after our game was called off at Yeovil. I drove straight to Barnet and watched them. They were very impressive. So, he's got some kind of reaction out of them, and they'll be hoping to follow that up and try and get some points tomorrow.
I suppose more pressure on them because they're below you in the table. They're chasing, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're in a position now where they've got to try and win games, and they've only got 5 left, I think. So they've got to win games. So there's no middle ground for them, and I'm sure they'll be trying to do that tomorrow. But we have to stick to what we do, and if we do that, we have a good chance of winning.
Obviously, you lost to Colchester on Easter Monday. What areas can you sort of say to the players, look, these are the specific points where you need to improve?
Well, I think when you work for 2 days solid on trying to have a fast start in the game and try and ask questions of Colchester, who played on the Friday, had a long journey down there, they'd had a couple of injuries, and you work on that for 2 days, and then you concede a goal after 17 seconds, it's very frustrating. So you're just asking the players to do their jobs, take responsibility, and concentrate for the 90 minutes.
Yeah, you said it's something that you can't sort of coach. I suppose they've just got to be switched on, haven't they? Yeah,
for the 17 seconds, there's 3 different mistakes in the first 17 seconds, which leads to a goal. So we have to be difficult to beat. And Saturday was a real big chance for us to get 3 points. On the whole game, we deserved something from it. But if you toss goals away like that, you're going to struggle to get points.
Christian Deutsch made his return from injury as a substitute. How much closer is he to be pushing for a start?
Christian will play tomorrow. There you go. Christian will play tomorrow up front with Ruben Reid.
And to be able to have those pair together again, that must just be exactly what you want at this stage of the season.
Of course, but young Tav's done well in Deutsch's absence. Got to give credit to Tav. But tomorrow Christian's fit, and just feel that with those two up front, it'll ask questions of Barnet defensively.
And you talked about him being a frustrated figure last week. How much different is he now that he's back on the pitch and he can do what he does best?
Yeah, he just wants to score more goals. So he's desperate to get back on the pitch and help us do what we need to do and sort of bag himself a couple of goals in the process, which is what he lives for.
And presumably that can give the rest of the team a lift as well.
Yeah, he gives us a lot more though, Christian. He's defensively good, set piece wise. He runs his socks off for 90 minutes and he occupies defenders.
How are the nerves at this stage, or are there no nerves? It's just professional doing your job.
Mine are fine. It's just like I say, if I project to the players that I'm feeling the pressure, then it's no good for them. So no, I'm pretty calm about it. We have a clear structure and way of playing and how we want to go into the game tomorrow. And if we carry that out, then we have a chance of getting what we need to get.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Mark, the away form has been well documented this season. How do you go about sort of addressing that and turning it into victories?
Well, it's the same message. It's the same tactics that we've been employing on a decent run at home. You just need people to take responsibility, and and to really focus and to really concentrate and make sure that you turn a good performance into points.
Yeah. And survival is in Forest Green's hands, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got 6 games to go. I think 3 or 4 more points should see us safe, so we want to get them as quick as we can.
When you look at Chesterfield, they've got a couple of games in hand. Would you rather have games in hand or had the games done in the bank?
No, I think the points, because if they win their 2 games in hand, they're not guaranteed to go above us because of their goal difference. So we'd certainly prefer to be in our position.
Yeah. A lot of people said it was a poor performance on Easter Monday. Would you agree with that?
In terms of how we played before, but we still probably did enough to get a point. But if you can see the goals we did from mistakes that have been made quite a few times this season, then you struggle. You're chasing your tail all the time. So we need to give ourselves a chance in the game. And like I said, if we ask for a fast start, that doesn't mean give the opposition a goal after 17 seconds. It means, let us try and get a goal. But listen, we're ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. What do you expect from Barnet tomorrow?
Like I said, I think Martin will have some up his sleeve. He's very good at that. He's a real good motivator, and whatever they do, we have to be ready. I've said to the players that they will bring something tomorrow. Be ready for whatever it is, whether it's they try and sneak another player on the pitch or whatever they do. We've got to be ready to match what they do and then do what we do really well.
And their obvious threat is John Akinde. He's been there and done it.
Yeah, Big John's been a terrific player for them over the last couple of years, and he's a real handful. We'll have to guard against Big John tomorrow, but they've got some other threats as well. So we have to, like I said, we've got to concentrate on what we do. We fully respect their strengths, but we concentrate on ours.
Yeah. Finally, I just want to ask you about Ray Wilkins' sad loss for the football family.
I think when you look at everything, there's not a bad word being said about him. And I met him a few times, and he was a really nice guy, really nice chap, thoroughly interested, even though he moved in different circles to us in terms of the top leagues. He was always thoroughly interested in how you were getting on, what your team were doing, and he'll be sorely missed.
Okay.